So today we are going to continue this chapter. In the last video we studied about Ohm's law, and in this law we studied that potential difference across a circuit is directly proportional to the current, and by putting the proportionality constant we found that there is a resistance in the circuit, and this resistance is because of the conductor or some device connected. And what is the use of this resistor? What is the role of resistor? It absorbs electrical energy. That is why we have resistor connected in a circuit. I told you any device, your light, fan, AC, fridge, any electrical device which is connected will behave like a resistor because its job is to absorb the energy and do its work. So in today's video we will study about this resistor a little bit more. Now one formula of resistance can be obtained from Ohm's law itself. R equals to V by I ohms. This is one of the formula. Then there is another formula of resistance which come from the properties of resistance, the factors on which resistance depend. So first I list what are the different factors on which a resistance will depend. Now resistance of a resistor, first it depends upon length of conductor. What is the length of the wire? What is the length of the device? The wire inside the device, whatever is the length, we'll take it as L, small l, and it depends upon the length. They are directly proportional. So if length is more, resistance will also be more. Because I told you why is a resistance created in the conductor? Because the electrons which are moving, they start colliding with each other. They do not move in a straight line, they move in a zigzag line. So if suppose this is a conductor, let us say this is a wire. Now if you look carefully, wire is cylindrical. I have just made it big. If this is the conductor and this is some electron, then it will not move in the same direction in the straight line. It will move in a zigzag motion. This zigzag motion is because this electron, while moving from this point towards this point, will undergo collision with other electrons, with other kind of ions present in the conductor, with atoms and molecules of the conductor. So there will be several collisions, and because of this the electron will move like this. It will go in this direction, all the electrons will go in the same direction, but their path will not be a straight line. And because of this, whenever there is a collision of this electron, it will release some energy. It releases some energy here, then it again gains the energy from the battery. Then in the next collision, suppose next collision happens here, it again will release some energy. At each collision, electron will lose some energy, and between two successive collision, it will again gain energy. So gaining of energy from battery and losing of energy from collision keeps on happening till the electron completes its journey from negative terminal to positive terminal. So now you can apply common sense and you would know that if the conductor is large, if the conductor is very lengthy, it is very long, then obviously there will be more collision because there will be more electron, there will be more atoms and molecules to collide with. So with the length of the conductor, the resistance also varies. They are directly proportional. If the length is more, resistance will also be more. So this is the first factor. Second is R is inversely proportional to area of cross section. This A is area of cross section. What is a cross section? Let us first understand what is meant by a cross section. Now, suppose this is a conductor and I cut the conductor like this. This is the conductor and I cut it like this. Then if you look from this side, then what will you see? You will see a circle. This is a cylinder, this is cylindrical. If I cut it from between and look from this side, then you will see that you will see a circle. So what is the cross section? Circle is the cross section. Similarly, if I had a cuboid, a long cube, and I cut it, and you see from this side, you will see a square. I do not have any cube, such kind of thing. We can look at the book. Let us say this is the conductor like this. I cut it and I show you like this, then what will you see? You will see a rectangle. So this part that we are seeing after cutting that part is called cross section. So if the wire is cylindrical, the cross section will be circular. Area of this cross section, if this is a circle, what will be its area? Pi r square. Pi r square is the cross section of the area of the cross section, and resistance is inversely proportional to this area. If the wire is thick, if it is very thick wire, then obviously area of cross section becomes very large. If area of cross section becomes large, resistance will drop, resistance will become less. That means there will be less number of collisions. Why there will be less number of collisions? Because electrons have lot of space to move around without colliding. If we have very thin wire like this, if we have very thin wire and same number of electrons are going, then they do not have much of the space to move around, and then eventually they will have to collide with each other because there is less space. If I ask all the students of the class to go through the door of the classroom at the same time, obviously there will be collision. So, and if the door is very huge and then I ask, then you can all go outside with lesser number of collisions between yourselves. So that is the same thing that is applied here. So if the area of cross section is increasing, if this increases, then resistance will decrease. There will be less number of collision. So these are the two factors. Another factor is temperature. The relationship of resistance with temperature is, although it is directly proportional, but it is not reflected in the formula of the resistance. The formula of the resistance, another formula I will give you in some time. But first understand the temperature. Now if you have touched a wire, you can do it yourself. Take a battery, take a wire, connect the wire on the positive and negative terminal of the battery. The current will start flowing through the wire. Then if you touch the wire, you will notice that the wire is getting heated up. The temperature of the wire is rising. Why is the temperature of wire is rising? Because of heat energy. Where is this heat energy coming from? This is the heat energy. The energy that was being generated in every collision of the electron. This energy is mostly heat energy. It can be a light energy and sound energy also. You must have seen sparking in the transformers, in the road lines, the electrical lines which are going overhead the road. There are sometimes sparking, sometimes there is a sound also, a buzzing sound also there is. So that is the same energy, this energy only. But that energy is very large because a high voltage of current passes through them. So that energy is large. So it is of heat energy, light and sound energy, all three. But in a small circuit, in a battery and a wire, not much energy is generated. So most of the energy that is there is heat energy. This heat energy will raise the temperature, and because of this temperature, because of the rising heat energy, the resistance will also increase. So if temperature increases, the resistance of the wire will increase. So what will happen? You switch on the circuit, connect it to the battery, the current starts flowing, there is some resistance. Slowly the temperature of the wire will rise because of these collisions, and with that temperature the resistance will also rise. So these are the three main factors on which resistance of a conductor depends. If we combine all of them in a formula, then it is written as R proportional to L upon A, directly proportional to length, inversely proportional to area. Now there is a proportionality sign. If I remove this proportionality sign, then a proportionality constant is introduced, and this constant is written like this. This is not a P, this is a Greek letter which is pronounced as rho, R-H-O, rho. This rho is called resistivity. Resistivity is the property of a resistor to resist the current. Let me repeat. Resistivity is the property of a conductor to resist the current. That means this resistivity is the major cause. It is the principle on which conductor has resistance. So resistance equals to resistivity into length of the conductor divided by the area of cross section of the conductor. Now this is a very important quantity, resistivity. Now you must have noticed there is no temperature here, because I told you the relation of temperature and resistance is a bit complicated. It is out of the scope of your syllabus. You will study them in higher classes in science subjects. uh, here this is your formula, no temperature here, R equals to rho L upon A, where rho is the resistivity. Resistivity decides the resistance of the resistor. Whether the resistance is large or it is low, it is decided by the resistivity. And on what factors do resistivity depend? Resistivity depend upon the nature of material of wire. Resistivity depend upon the nature of the material of the wire. It does not depend on length. Resistivity, not resistance. Resistivity does not depend upon length. Resistivity does not depend upon area of cross section. It depends upon the nature of material. What is the material of the conductor? Whether it is made up of copper, whether it is made up of aluminium, silver, whatever material it is made up of, all the resistivities of all these materials will be different. So length and area of cross section do not matter. What matters for a resistivity is the nature of the material. Now here is a catch. This formula, this formula suggests that if R equals to rho L by A, then I can write rho equals to RA upon L. Mathematically this is true, but still, now from this formula we can say the formula is R equals to rho A upon L. That means rho depends upon A and L also, but that is not true. Rho depends upon the only on the nature of the material. So there is a very common question based on this concept, very common question which comes almost every year in the board exams, and that question is, you have a copper wire, you have a copper wire of length L and area of cross section A, and this wire is divided into two equal parts. It is cut from between. Now you have two wires, each of length L by 2. Now what the question asks, what is the ratio of the resistivity in both the cases? What is the ratio of the resistivity of this? Let us say the resistivity of this is rho 1 and the resistivity of this, let us say it is rho 2. And what the question asks? Question asks the ratio. It asks rho 1 upon rho 2. Why is it asking? Because it is reducing the length. So what is the question, what is the teacher asking you actually? The teacher is asking you whether by changing length will the resistivity change. If the resistivity will change, then rho 1 upon rho 2 will be some value other than 1. But if they are same, then the ratio will be 1. Are rho 1 and rho 2 same? Yes, they are same, because rho 1 depends upon the nature of the material. Is the material changing here? It is still a copper wire. The material hasn't changed. That means the resistivity will also not change, and the ratio of rho 1 and rho 2 will be 1. So I hope this is clear. If it is not clear, then you can ask me questions on the group.